What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Other Side of the Firewall, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
And LeVon Maynard.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, so another good week. Remember to tune in to us Monday through Friday. Thursday is potentially episode, but we always Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday we have episodes for you. We try to keep it action packed, so we talk about our topics on Monday and Tuesday. We do a discussion. This week will be a reintroduction of ourselves for Wednesday, and our skills, what we do, and what have you. Why you should listen to us. And then Friday we would do the weekly rundown where we talk about everything but cybersecurity. So you get to hear what we do on our time off. So. Without further ado, I turn over to LeVon.
Right on. So it looks like we have an article here. This one's from, I don't even know how to say this, but it's like Payments or P-Y-M-I.
I think it's payments.
Payments. Yeah, I was wondering if it's like a short, yeah, like, because they're missing like obviously
they did the Air Force EPR right there.
Right.
No vowels anywhere in that.
No vowels. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to try to make it some sort of, because it's like I don't know if they're trying to do something clever, make it like a different word, but yeah, it's pretty much payments, but without the vowels. Well, this article is basically this article is about Apple. It released a software patch. I guess the article's title is Apple software patch is an indication of intensifying cybersecurity arms race. So this article basically goes through, describes that the Apple, they came across a vulnerability. They released an emergency software patch on Monday, September 13th, after researchers at University of Toronto's Citizen Lab uncovered a security flaw that could allow hackers to secretly install spyware on Apple devices through iMessage without users' knowledge. Basically, it looks like the researchers found that the advanced form of the spyware from Israeli security firm NSO Group called Pegasus can eavesdrop or steal data once it is installed on an Apple device, prompting an urgent need to protect close to 2 billion Apple products in use worldwide that have been exposed to the spyware since at least March. So yeah, this is like a big, I guess a big vulnerability that they found. Being able to basically take control of the entire device. It's pretty much get full, like, I guess, admin rights to the device. And I think they indicated in the article that that it was actually a, where was it at? There was yes, right. In the statement on USA Today, Ivik Kristik, head of Apple security engineer and architecture, said Apple immediately developed and deployed a fix to iOS 14.8 to protect our users after identifying the vulnerability. This kind of attack they describe, saying that it's basically like it's really sophisticated, highly sophisticated, costs millions of dollars to develop, often have a short shelf life, and are used to target specific individuals. So this kind of thing is really used to like kind of pinpoint, like somebody spent a lot of money to develop this particular hack. I don't know how prevalent it became as far as like how many people were affected or potentially compromised by this vulnerability, but it looks like Apple was decently quick about putting out a patch to kind of fix it, resolve it. I don't know if they will, determine if anybody else is affected by it at all, but it seems like it's kind of one of those things. I mean, we've talked about these kind of things before. Hacks are going to happen. Patches are going to be developed for these holes that we have in the software. And it's like you're never completely safe. You just got to take the steps that you can, try to make sure that you're, being as secure as you can. Implementing kind of multi-factor. You can try to limit your exposure to, external unknown Wi-Fi hotspots and things of that nature. But it's one of those things we got to look out for, and it's kind of a rinse and repeat as far as these vulnerabilities are concerned. We hear about these all the time, and they're going to continue to happen. There'll be a new one next week, a new one next month. But just do our best to try to stay on top of it and just make sure that you're aware that these things are out there. But I guess with that said, you guys have some thoughts on it?
Yeah, definitely. So this one keeps coming back, but it just keeps getting repackaged. Because we talked about it, I believe, in the spring, maybe. It could have been the fall, but I believe we talked about in the spring how this was a spyware app called Pegasus, developed by Israeli spyware company that nation states were paying for. So I think when we talked about it in the past, I can't remember which episode it was, but it was being utilized by Saudi, I believe, on their journalists or on journalists in Saudi anyway, to pull their data. I don't remember if we actually talked about which phone brand it was targeted against. I can't remember that part, to be honest with you. And when I dug through some articles, I can't find that one any longer. But now I see one for where it says Rwanda used it against Belgian journalists that were in country. So it's definitely something that's been out there for a while now, developed by a brand name spyware company. You know what I mean? Like people actually go to NSO for their products. But I think now the reason that it popped was because of it's targeted against everyone. Like it wasn't just against nation states using it against journalist groups. It seemed as though it was becoming prevalent within just the Apple community in general, which obviously, like you alluded to in the article, there's at least 2 billion devices out there. And you would not be able to tell if they were spying on you. So definitely good on Apple for doing the emergency patch. I've rarely see emergency patches. Like usually you still have the timing to get it done, but it must have been prevalent enough where they're like, no, we need to push this immediately to protect our users. So good on Apple. Like, look, I'm still Apple spokesman.
Right.
But again, that it is pretty scary though, how quickly it spread like wildfire. Like, I don't know. It doesn't allude to how that was done. Like, was it actually targeted against all phones, or did it somehow spread to the larger community? That is not being talked about. But before I take all the good pieces, I'm gonna give it to Shannon.
So out of those 2 billion devices, you have like half of them though, Ryan. Like when you sent the list of everything,
I was being targeted.
they're looking for Ryan Williams. I'm sure of it because you have half of the devices. So the reason this is kind of scary to me, right? The reason it is scary, there's no kinda to it, is that there is no preventing this. Like all they have to do is send the text to your phone and that's it. You don't have to click on a link. So all that stuff we teach people, right? All that cybersecurity stuff that we teach users that we work with or customers or whatever, like it goes around all of that. You don't have to click on a link, right? You don't have to verify it's from a qualified sender. That text shows up on your phone and then they're in there. That's all there is to it, right? There's no way to block that text from getting to your phone. I mean, blocking it maybe, but you don't know the number it's going to come from, right? You're going to block everything except for what's in your contacts, maybe. You know what I mean? But I don't even know how you would do something like that. Like you would just block everything that's not a, whatever the area codes are. I don't know how you would do that for your phone. That's the scary part to it. Now, a little bit of a saving grace to it though is that this isn't something that spreads once it gets to you. Like I cannot spread this. It has to be directed to me, right? By what I was reading in the article. So it would have to be that someone sends it to my number and then they have me, but like I cannot spread it on. Like it's not like it gets in there, infects my address book and then goes out to everybody like that, right? Like viruses tend to do. So that's a little bit of a saving grace for it. But when this came out, man, I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna tell our listening public out there, when this came out there, I got at Ryan a little bit. I was like, look, man, you brought me over to Apple, and this seems to happen like every other week now. Like, what is going on?
I think it's you. You brought this to us.
You're right.
We need to get you out of here.
I am the Trojan horse. I can tell you now. I am the Trojan horse. You know what I mean? I had to beg LeVon to take me back. I was like, hey man, can I come on back home? You know what I mean? What's going on?
How you doing?
Yeah, man. But no,
the Rick James wave.
Rick James wave. Come on back. Come on back.
Come on back.
Give it to me, baby.
But no, I mean, like it's one of those things. Like this is scary, man, and it is not. There's nothing around, but this is the sacrifice we've made. I've said it. If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. This is the sacrifices we've made to have the convenience of these electronic devices, right? We could still be in the era where the post office is busy getting letters from each other, but that's not what we do now, right? We go on to social media, we text people, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not where we are. So this is the trade-off. This is what we're gonna have to deal with, and this is what we're gonna have to get smart against. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's the way of the world right now, and I don't think there's any way to turn it back.
Right. So I was just thinking about it. I was like, so you are correct. It has to be directed at you. I was like, how can it be directed at me? Oh yeah, my carrier gets breached and my phone number gets leaked. And you just push out a mass text to an entire spreadsheet full of numbers. That's how you do it. So luckily they patched it. I'm not sure if that was the plan in the future or not, but we wouldn't have known. You just got that weird random text. You'd be like, that's weird, and not responded. And now you got it. Now they're looking through your pictures.
Right.
Or whatever. Like they had full access, I believe, without your knowledge, which is crazy to me. But again, like this stuff. So what's crazy is there's nothing new under the sun except for when there's something new under the sun. Like we've seen this. This is something that's been prevalent for a year now. When it was first discovered, though, it was amazing. They were like, oh wow, can't believe this happened. Kind of cool. Hopefully they fix it. Now you see, like, no, we're all impacted by it because it starts out small and then they just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So you definitely have to pay attention to these type of things. Patch your systems as soon as you get a patch. But then I get scared to say that because, as we know, supply chain attacks also happen. So our job only gets more complicated, more confusing, and it's harder to gain user trust. Because if I tell you, like, take this training and then you'll be safe and you won't click these links. And I built systems where you can't just click straight through, like enterprise level email where you just can't click a link. You have to actually look at the link, copy the link, paste the link in the browser. In this case, all I do is just text you and nothing you can do to stop it. Unless the actual, product company, and in this case, Apple patches it. So far, we only know it to be an Apple problem. It doesn't seem to be an Android problem. I don't know what it was in the past. I don't know if it was both or just Apple to begin with, because they don't really specify the phone brand in the articles I was able to find. So stay safe out there.
And it was a 0 day, so it's not like they sat on it. You know what I mean? It was
Right.
a 0 day, so it came up and it was just unknown to the world. It was just like, oh, you know what? Let's do something about this. You know?
Yeah. So 0 day and 0 click, right? So you don't have to click anything, which is the scariest for users of all types, even us. So what's called it? LeVon down there being real smug because it didn't happen to him. I'm
That's
just
right.
waiting. Like, look, just wait.
No,
Just
it's
tap my
like-
fingers together. Just waiting.
No, you are good because I have no kind of thought that any hint that this is not going to happen to Google or some other device that I have or Microsoft or whatever. This type of stuff happens all the time, and there's only so much a company can do to keep this software secure. Somebody's always going to find some backdoor, some way to get around whatever precautions they put in place.
It sounds like you're telling me to stay in Apple world. You're inadvertently telling me to stay
Yeah.
so this bad luck stays here. That's what that sounds like.
Well,
No. It can happen to us too.
Right, but let me say this: that it seems to be happening to Apple a lot more than us right now.
I don't know what's happening, man. Like, because it used to be obscurity, right? Like Apple was a company that a lot of people didn't have it. It was kind of niche. They were attacked, but not attacked as much as your Microsoft products and what have you, because they're worldwide. Everybody has this. But now that we are the best phones in the world, we seem to be attacked all the time. Yeah, I said it. He said, I got the so-so from Shannon. Yeah, okay. Like we get features mad late, but when we get them, they're exquisite.
Exquisite.
Do you believe I had a phone when there was no copy and paste on phones? Like my first Apple phone did not have copy and paste. That was a thing.
Damn.
Very late to the game on copy and paste. I don't know what took so long, but I digress. I still love my Apple products. But yeah, definitely make sure you patch your products. This is a thing. It's out there. If you have not received the patch yet, maybe try to search for updates to see if you'll pull it. And just stay safe. Try to keep your stuff up to date. Listen to us for the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news. So that way you know what's out there. And then continue to tune in for us the week. All right. So like Tuesday, we also have another good story that goes back to some topics we talked about in the past, because everything just comes to a head at some point, right? Especially in cybersecurity. And then Wednesdays, the reintroduction. So if you want to know more about us and what we do, on a regular basis and why you should listen to us. That'll be Wednesday. And then Friday, of course, be the rundown. We'll talk about everything else out there that we've been doing. So make sure you hit up the website at www.theothersideofthefirewall.com. Thank you to Shannon and LeVon. It's always a great conversation. Thank you to all those who are out there listening, both audio and video. Make sure you hit the video up because we do funny stuff in the videos that we don't always describe. So watch that video as well. But like, share, subscribe, and hit us up on all our social medias. You can hit me up personally. I'm at RyRy Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. I'm on LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, and Clubhouse. And you, LeVon? Yeah.
Hit me up on the Twitters at LeVon Manders.
There it is. Make sure you hit up our social accounts. We're very social. Appreciate it. Stay safe. Stay secure.
Take care.